They are then followed by the Miters Netball Club. Put your hands together, welcome the teams competing. Following Miters, we have National Properties Nature Care Netters. They are then followed by the Sion Hill Netball team. And rounding out the participating teams, the Exceed Sports Club. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together once again for our teams competing in the inaugural semi-professional netball league here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. At this point, I'd like to please invite all to stand as I invite Mrs. Charles Roberts to deliver the opening prayer.
Can you please stand? Oh, gracious and eternal God, we once more come before your throne of grace to thank you for your many blessings. God, we thank you for life. And even as we assemble here this evening, God, we thank you for the opportunity where we can participate in this, our first ever semi-pro netball league. God, we ask that you have your way among us, Lord, this evening as we prepare to start this league. We pray, God, that the league would be injury-free, and we pray, God, that everything will go in order. So, God, we ask that you take over what we are going to do this evening. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much, and I'd invite you to please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you very much. Minister of Housing, Informal Human Settlement, Youth and Sports, the Honorable Dr. Orlando Brewster. Minister of Finance, the Honorable Camilo Gonzalez. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, Informal Human Settlement, Youth and Sports, Mrs. Neva Phillips-Cordes. President of the Svg Netball Association, Natasha Batiste. other members of the Netball Association's executive. We also acknowledge the presence of the Member of Parliament for Central Kingstown, the Honourable Sinclair Leacock, participating teams, officials, spectators, members of the media, and of course those of you viewing us live. We welcome you officially to the inaugural semi-professional netball league here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I said earlier, a step in the right direction as it relates to sports development on any platform. At this point, I'd like to invite the president of the SVG Netball Association, Ms. Natasha Batiste, to the podium for some brief remarks.
Honorable Dr. Orlando Brewster, Minister of Housing, Informal Human Settlement, Youth and Sport, Honorable Camilo Gonsalves, Minister of Finance, Era Representative for Central Kingstown, Honorable Dr. Sinclair Leacock, PS of the Ministry of Sport, all participating teams, media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today, we stand at a defining moment in the history of sport in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is with immense pride, deep gratitude, and great expectation that we officially open the inaugural semi-professional netball league, the first of its kind in our nation. For decades, netball has been the heartbeat of our communities, from the school courts to village competitions, from national tournaments to international representation. Netball has given us a reason to celebrate, to unite, and to dream. Today, we elevate that dream to a new level, where our athletes are now recognized not only as players, but as professionals who are investing their talent, time, and discipline into a sport that has given so much to our people. At the heart of this league are our very best players, including the pride of the nation, our Vinci Jewels, the queens of the OECS. These young women have proven time and again that they are not only among the best in the region, but they are ready to hold their own on the international stage. Just recently at the ECCB International Netball Series, our Vinci Jewels delivered a performance that captured regional attention and made Vincentians everywhere proud. They returned home as champions of the tournament with team awards from best attacking team and the best defending team. Individually, our own Marianne Frederick shone bright like a true jewel, capturing both the title of most valuable player of the tournament and most accurate shooter. A remarkable double achievement that cements her status as one of the finest players in the region. Let's put our hands again together for that. To our jewels, we salute you. Your achievements are a beacon of hope for every young girl who dreams of one day wearing the national colors and representing her country. In recognizing individual achievements and milestones, our very own Mr. Moet Games left our shores today to travel to Gibraltar to umpire in the World Netball Youth Cup, showcasing that as a small nation, we have great potential and there is no limitation once we put our mind and our heart to the task. None of these achievements would have been possible without support. We must give special thanks to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the main financiers of this semi-professional league. Your investment is not just financial. It is an investment in people, in communities, and in the future of sport. In particular, I recognize the Honorable Minister of Sport and the Department of Sport for their vision, their push, and their unwavering support in making this historic initiative a reality. Along with the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance, today is proof of what happens when government, sport, and community come together for a common goal. As we celebrate this milestone, we also look ahead with great anticipation. The year 2026 promises to be another landmark year for netball in our nation. Our male players will take to the international stage once more at the America's Netball Men's Championship, further expanding the reach and inclusivity of netball. Our baby jewels will begin work for the opportunity to compete in the CNA Jean Pair Under 16 tournament in Trinidad and Tobago. In July, and yes, it's a lot of netball, in July 2026, our women will compete in the Central American and Caribbean Games, a critical opportunity to showcase our talents in a broader sporting arena. And in October 2026, we will participate in the America's Netball World Cup qualifier, a chance not only to compete, but to make history once again by securing our place at the next World Cup. These are not just events on the calendar. They are opportunities for growth, for exposure, and for strengthening the foundation we are building here today with this semi-professional league. To our athletes, this is your time. Play with pride, with discipline, and with determination. Remember that every pass, every interception, every goal is more than just a point on the scoreboard. It is a statement of who we are as Vincentians. To our coaches and officials, thank you for your commitment, your sacrifice, and your role in shaping this new era. And to our fans, family, and supporters, and I know our VVIP era will be alive once more. Keep cheering, keep believing, and keep walking with us on this journey. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are not simply opening a league. We are opening a door to the future. A future where netball stands shoulder to shoulder with the best. A future where our athletes shine brighter than ever before. And a future where St. Vincent and the Grenadines continues to lead with passion, pride, and purpose. Let us celebrate this historic moment. Let us rally around our teams, and let us ensure that this inaugural semi-professional netball league is the first of many great things to come. Have a blessed evening, enjoy, and I expect to see you out every day when we have our games, because we are making history here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Thank you very much, President of the Svg Netball Association, Natasha Batiste. At this point, we'll have the inspection of the teams, which will be done by Ms. Batiste, President of the SVGNA, Minister of Sport, Dr. Orlando Brewster, and in lieu of the absence of the Prime Minister, we'll also ask the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Camilo Gonzalez, to do the honors. So the inspection of the teams. Thank you very much, ministers, President Batiste, and also MP Leacock. As we did the introduction of the teams, the competing teams once again, they are the Maple Netball Club, Mitres Netball Club, National Properties Nature Care Netters, Sign Hill Netball Team, and Exceed Sports Club. I also managed to miss the contingent of officials who are dressed in black and white on the end, so my apologies to the officials. Must acknowledge your presence here among the teams as well. At this point, we'd like to invite the Minister of Housing, Informal Human Settlement, Youth and Sports, the Honorable Orlando Brewster, to the podium to give his remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Khalil Keto, Master of Ceremonies. Allow me to acknowledge my parliamentary colleagues, the Honorable Camilo Gonçalves, Minister of Finance, Economic Planning, and also MP, the Honorable Sinclair Leacock, the Major, President of St. Vincent and the Grenadines Netball Association, Ms. Natasha Batiste, members of the Executive, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, Informal Human Settlement, Youth and Sports, Ms. Neva Phillips-Cordis, those of you who came out this evening to witness this historic opening, participants from the various teams, members of the media, a pleasant evening. Now, it is a day, the 15th of September 2025, a day that will be etched forever in my mind. As the minister with the responsibility for sports here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I want to first start by saying this portfolio, the Ministry with Housing, Informal Human Settlement, Youth and Sports, when the Prime Minister, after Hurricane Beryl, decided to take away some of the duties because of the magnitude of the rebuilding after Hurricane Beryl. He was saying to me, Randy, I think you should just focus on housing. And I said to him, PM, if you're giving me housing, I want youth and I want sports as well. So this wasn't handed to me. This is something that I asked for. And he said to me, are you sure? I said, I'm absolutely sure, 100% sure. I will take youth and I will take sports. Now the combination is not a combination that is very unique, but it's a combination that goes hand in hand, youth and sports. And immediately last year, July, when I got that aspect of the portfolio, sports, I started my work immediately. And one of the first organizations here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that asked for a meeting with the Minister of Sports was the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Netball Association. And I want to commend them for such. And I sat with the president and she outlined some of the challenges. And also, while she outlined the challenges, she also outlined some of our visions for the sports of netball. Just last year, this facility right here took a beating from Hurricane Beryl. And like you're sitting comfortably right now, last year, if it was raining, you couldn't sit that comfortably. You would have had to shift to a side because of the challenges that we had with the roof. And one of the first things that I did as the Minister of Sports, because this is the home for netball, I went to the cabinet and I said we have to urgently, while we are dealing with the houses and so on, we can't leave sports on the back burner. And I say we have to urgently deal with this facility. And as usual, our Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, who is here today, he said, well, Randy, whatever resources you need, get all the necessary in place and let us get the work done. And we pulled it off in record time for the opening of the netball competition that was held here recently. But I didn't stay there. Last year in October, the Prime Minister announced that he wants to have here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the very first time a semi-professional league in netball and in football. And he said to me after the hurricane, he said, "You sure you can manage this thing?" I said, yes. I said, yes. You give me work to do, I have to do my work. And that's how I operate. I do my work. And I'm happy this evening that with the help of the executive and the hard work of the Minister of Finance, our esteemed Prime Minister, the Netball Association and its executive, that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is witnessing its very first, the inaugural semi-professional leagues here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I think that is commendable, and we should put our hands together because this is historic. Now, many would say, why did we make such a move in having a semi-professional league in football and in netball? But today we're concentrating on netball. And I always say, look at the track record. And our Vinci Jewels, as mentioned by the President, has over the past years been performing exceptionally on the regional stage. And for their exceptional performance, there must be rewards. And this semi-professional league, it's the step in the right direction as it relates to rewarding our young professional athletes here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I know that we do not have today on display many teams. And I've been working very closely with the association, with the president, because one of the dreams that I have for netball here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not for netball only to be played in Kingston and the urban areas, but we must have netball being played year-round, also in the rural communities. I remember once we had a vibrant league in Layu and Barley and all the different areas. Sion Hill has continued with that because Sion Hill over the years has been doing that. But we want this flame of netball to fly across the length and breadth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And in order to do so, we must provide the necessary platform. And not only the platform, but we must be able to put in place the necessary resources for that platform so that the flame of netball can be carried throughout the length and breadth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, I don't want to get into the finances because the Minister of Finance is here and he will give you the breakdown as to what is happening. But I want to say that this government takes the responsibility for sports very seriously. We are committed to the development of sports and the different sporting disciplines. Allow me to acknowledge the arrival of our esteemed Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Ralph E. Gonsalves. Welcome, Prime Minister. As I mentioned before, we take our responsibility very seriously as it relates to the development of sports here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But sports is not only the responsibility of the government. It is also the responsibility of the various associations and organizations across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is also part of the social responsibility for the various cooperative organizations as well. Because in order for us to continue to lift our game here in St. Vincent as it relates to sports, we need all hands on deck. We need all hands on deck. And as the Minister of Sports, we are not staying with just the semi-professional league, but we have heard the call from our athletes as to the upgrading of sporting facilities, and by next year, by God's grace, we should have our very first indoor facility for netball, volleyball, and the sports alike here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are going to work feverishly and tirelessly for our young people here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we know sports, it is an avenue for them to express themselves, their skills, and their talents. And we, the government, will continue to put all the necessary pieces in place in order to harness those skills and developments. So I want to congratulate this evening all of the participating teams in this very first inaugural semi-pro female netball competition here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I want to encourage you to not just take part here in Kingston, but to take the message back to the rural areas and let us have on display next year more teams into this semi-professional leagues. So I want to close by saying this. We have come a very far way. And we still have more rivers to cross. But we are not going to sit back and relax. But we are going to put our best foot forward every year. This is not going to be a one-off, but this is going to be continuous year after year, where we look forward to our semi-professional league here at Kingston and soon to be our new facility. And in this month, it's not only netball, but for the end of this month, we'll have football kicking off. Our very first semi-professional league in football here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So we are working, and we want you to continue to work with us. So I want to wish this tournament all the best, and may the best team win. I have in my mind the team that I'm cheering for, but I can't tell you this evening. But I'll be here witnessing most of the games. But may the best team win, and I look forward to continue the working relationship with the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Netball Association as we move forward. And a little birdie just whisper in my ears that say, what happened to the males them? Well, we're laying the platform. We're laying the platform, and we are doing the same for females in the football. So, again, God bless and thank you, and have a successful semi-professional league, the first of its kind here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Thank you very much. Minister of Housing, Informal Human Settlements, Youth and Sports. I know the team that the minister is going to be back into. It's the Vinci Jewels, all of them behind here. Right. Speaking of Jewels, Minister, you remember the arrangement I made with the Jewels when we had the welcome at the airport, right? You know them Jewels went sandals and nobody called me. Marianne? Okay. At this point now, we'll invite the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Camilo Gonzalez, to the podium for his remarks.
Good night. Recognize the Honorable Prime Minister, other parliamentary colleagues, recognize the officials from the Netball Association, officials from the Ministry of Sports, of course, all of our wonderful players from all 5 teams, and you, the audience, the well-wishers, the fans of netball in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good night, and indeed, this is a very good night for netball in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. When I was a little boy in French's, I lived across the street from one of the most famous sporting households in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It was the Ballantine Compound. And you know, everybody who came out of that house excelled in one sport or the other. Netball, bodybuilding, table tennis, football, track, whatever it was, somebody in that Ballantine household excelled. And I remember once as a little boy, I was going past the house with a big football fan from the same area, Dexter Walker. And he said, you know, in that house, there's a fella named Raymond Ballantine who live in there, and another one, Junior Ballantine. And they play semi-professional football overseas. And the thing sounded so exciting to me, I didn't even really know what semi-professional football was. But it sounded like another level of football, something beyond what we were doing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I noted over time that one of the ways that you develop your own sporting talent beyond the love of the game, which is the foundation, and the skill and the talent which we have in abundance, is to begin to invest money at various levels of sporting development, not just in the infrastructure, not just the pavilions and the lights and all the rest of it, but in the athletes themselves. And at the beginning of this year, when we had the budget presentation, we announced, I know a lot of people don't listen to the budget, but we announced 2 initiatives that was going to put money in the hands of players. One was something called the FAST Fund, F-A-S-T, Future Athletes Support and Training Fund. And we said that between now and the Olympics, we would spend $1 million, $250,000 each year, on athletes that we believe have the potential to raise the flag of St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028. And we put money aside to invest $250,000 every year in those talented athletes, getting a little supplement, getting training, getting other sorts of support that they would need to become champion athletes at the highest level. And I want to say that Randy Brewster has made sure that even though the year is not done, the $250,000 from the Fast Fund is exhausted. And he spent all of that money developing young sporting talent across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we may have to, Randy, top up the Fast Fund before the year is done to help our players. And then the next thing we said we would do, in addition to that $250,000, we would spend $1.1 million on that magic thing that excited me when I was a little boy, semi-professional leagues. We would give $200,000 to establish a semi-professional netball league and $900,000 to establish a semi-professional football league. And football gets more because there are more teams, there are more players, and the tournament lasts longer. But we said that we would invest this money to make sure that netball receives the impetus, the credit, the strength that it deserves, because as the head of the federation said, we have a long history of netball excellence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so this first investment, this first small seed investment, is the historic beginning of semi-professional netball in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The tournament lasts for about a month. It's a short tournament. But every single player who you see standing up here will receive a minimum of $1,600 for their month's work playing netball in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in this tournament. And as we go, if you put on your miniskirt and come out here, you could get $1,600 too. And as we develop the semi-professional netball league, next year, it won't just be government money in there. It will be sponsors' money from the major sponsors, telecommunication companies, and all the rest of them. So that $1,600 by next year will look like small money. And the year after that, it will look like smaller money. Because each year, we're going to build the semi-professional league to make sure that our talented netballers are properly rewarded for their skill, their talent, and the discipline that it takes to become a top netball player. And young people will say, I want to play netball, not just because I love netball, but because I go get a little thing from playing netball as well. Come on. And then as we go, and as we build, and as we strengthen, and as we get more teams and more sponsorship, the government support for the semi-professional league will also increase accordingly. This tournament is going to have a first place prize of $20,000. Second place, $15,000. Third place, $10,000. On top of the $1,600 that everybody is getting for playing in the tournament. And we ain't leaving out those in the black and white at the end. The referees will also get a little something. The management will also get a little something. And we will continue to build to ensure that netball assumes its pride of place as the premier women's sport in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And long may it remain so. And then, the spectator want money too. When all you could show me something named semi-professional spectator, we go talk about that too. We go talk about that too. Now, Minister Brewster also mentioned some other innovations. He has promised, and I promise that he will keep his promise, that we are going to build an indoor netball facility in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It won't just be netball, it will be netball, basketball, volleyball, the indoor sports. So we won't stop playing when rain fall. And we will not stop playing when sun too hot. And we will make sure that because we have that facility, we will attract sporting events to St. Vincent and the Grenadines so that you will see the highest quality netball in the world played here, not just by our own Vincy Jewels, but by other netball playing countries from around the world. That is a promise that Randy has made, and that is a promise that he and I have been researching. What is the best mechanism? What is the best type facility? Which one is it the most affordable to operate, the most sustainable to maintain? And right at Annesvale, where you have those 4 uncovered courts, wait for it. Next year we begin in construction right there of an enclosed indoor sporting facility at that location. And after the Prime Minister committed and said that we would make sure that the Annesvale Cricket Stadium became one of the premier cricket facilities in the world by adding lighting and other upgrades to it. And remember how T20 cricket was sweet. And remember how the other West Indies cricket was sweet. And remember how the Emancipation Cricket Festival was sweet under the lights. Randy said, that's nice, but we need more lights all around the country. So he has committed, and we have provided the resources, and on the way, as we speak, are lighting facilities at 4 fields in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to make sure that the young men at night time doing something productive with the time, staying out of trouble, playing sport, watching sport, enjoying themselves as a community, and developing their tremendous talent. We are putting our money where our mouth is when it comes to sports development in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And Minister Brewster has been leading the way with innovation and creativity to make sure that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has first-class sporting facilities across the length and breadth of the country. Not just Annesvale, not just here in Kingstown, but we're going to have facilities in Layou. We're going to have facilities on the Leeward Coast. We're going to have facilities in London in North Windward. And we're going to make sure that anywhere you are, if you have athletic talent, you will be able to develop that talent close to home. And then one day, hopefully, make a semi-professional league and thereafter a professional league somewhere where you can make a living as an athlete with your talent and skill in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Today is a first step. And many journeys begin, all journeys begin with that first step, that first humble step. This is that first step. $200,000 invested in 5 netball teams in a 1-month tournament. Next year, I hope it's $5,000, $500,000 in 10 teams in a 2-month tournament. And I hope that every year that we go forward, this semi-professional netball league grows and grows from strength to strength, that the stands are full, that the indoor facilities are occupied, that we're playing in North Windward and North Leeward and everywhere in between. And netball, once again, is a game and a sport that everybody is talking about and can't wait to see when the games come up. That's the vision. And we're going one step at a time. We develop the facilities, we invest in the players, we invite other high-quality players to come join us, and together we soon have a sporting nation befitting the talent that we have here. I want to congratulate the head of the Netball Association and recognize the jewel that you have in her. Because when we do great things, like win the OECS tournament, we all recognize the players and say, well done, players. But we also have to recognize the leadership that got the players into that position. Because when our players do great things, very often we have to thank the leaders for doing those great things. And conversely, when our players do not do very well, whether it's football, whether it's cricket, you say, well, the players have a role, but I wonder if the leaders were really leading when they should have been leading, or if they were doing other things. So recognize the talent that you have. Recognize the excellent leadership that you have. Recognize the partner that you have in the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and recognize the brilliance of these young people, and not so young people, who will be playing netball for you over the course of the next month. I'm very proud that I played a small role in this, and I look forward to continued investment in netball, in football, in cricket, in basketball, in athletics, in swimming, in all the other sporting disciplines to develop young Vincentian men and women, develop their talent, and build our own national pride. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless.
Thank you very much, Honorable Camilo Gonzalez, Minister of Finance. here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Of course, the competition begins in earnest this evening. We have, I believe it's 2 games. Is it one? Oh, 1 game. So it's the Mitres netball team versus Exceed. But that being said, we at least want to make sure that our players are relaxed and ready. So with that being said, we want to ask the teams, by team, I'll ask you to vacate the court so you can go and have a seat. So we'll begin with the Maple Netball Club. They're followed by Mitres Netball Club. Shabali, you couldn't wait, eh? National Properties Nature Care Netters. Sion Hill Netball Team. And of course, the Exceed Sports Club. To be followed by the contingent of officials. All right, and as the ladies get themselves situated and sitting in the stands, we now invite to the podium for his remarks the Honorable Dr. Ralph E. Gonzalez, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Mr. Chairman, Cabinet and parliamentary colleagues, the President of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Netball Association, Permanent Secretary and Senior Assistant Secretary in the Ministry of Sport, the participants, and those who have come to look at the games this evening, and members of the media. I'm very happy to be here this evening to identify with this very important initiative of the government, spearheaded by Minister Brewster. We all know that of all the sports in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the sport where the country is most highly ranked globally is netball. I think, Madam President, we are number 17 in the world. And we are, over the last few years, we have moved from the early 20s to 17. And I believe that we have much more to advance. And I believe this initiative will help with the advance. I want to join in the congratulations for the netball team for the recent championship victory in Grenada. I was advised that there's a blocks holding it up. I mustn't lean too much. Otherwise, it might tumble over. I wouldn't like that to happen. We call it transparency. I want to tell you that there's a very important netballer who came down on the plane with me earlier this week. Last week. Shirley Brown. Don't know if many of you know her. Joy Brown's sister. Shirley Winsborough. There was in 1960 a West Indies netball team, and she was one of the Vincentians. who made the team. The team comprised largely of Jamaicans, Trinidadians, and Vincentians, because those were the three best teams in the Caribbean at the time. Jamaica and Trinidad had real difficulty beating St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And for those who don't know the area where you had this heyday of netball, you see where Flo is? That's where you used to have the Y, government property. And that's where there was a ramshackle netball facility. And all of us young schoolboys, on afternoons, when netball was playing, we went there to see the likes of Shirley, Uriel Campbell, the Huggins twins from Up Murray Village, and so on and so forth. When I was there, I was senior to Sinclair Leacock. So sometime I see trying to squinch up and come in and get past to see if you could get a seat somewhere. When we bigger boys occupy the better places, you know. So yeah, from then he has had to give me respect. No, we are doing a lot for sports. We have done a lot and we have more to do. And I know that everybody operates on the basis of the fierce urgency of now. Not everybody wants everything to be done one time. But I want to tell you, we have to be very careful about the tyranny of now. Because if you want everything to be done at the same time, nothing gets done. Because in life and living and production, not everything can be done at the same time. When you deal with rights and freedoms, well, there's a fresh urgency of now. Because everybody is supposed to be free. But when you address some practical matters of constructing places and facilities, you have to schedule them. You have to sequence them. And if you don't sequence them, you have problems. So I want to make that very important point, and life's experiences will teach that. You know, inside of your mother home, if you can't buy at the same time the fridge, the deep freeze, the TV, the stove, and the washing machine, you decide first of all that you certainly need the fridge and you need the stove. Because those are the two in order of priority. So I think it's always important to bear these matters in mind. But we have spent an enormous amount of money on sporting facilities. The two that come to mind immediately are the Annisvale Sporting Facility. Because in 2007, we spent $54 million. Not just on that, but that was the centerpiece. And we developed also Sion Hill, Annisvale 2, and Stubbs for the warm-up games for Cricket World Cup. And then last year, we spent a further $35 million to bring it to world first-class standards, including putting in top-of-the-line lights. And then we are spending out a planned number of close to $50 million on the St. Vincent Beach Stadium. And what we did there, as you notice, we built it out in stages. And the wisdom of that you can do the important aspects of the facility. For example, a top-of-the-line track. And we brought about the best people to do that track. I want to tell you something. And people don't often know these details, during COVID, when we were building that track, the Germans who are coming to set down this top-of-the-line track, he was in Costa Rica. And they said that he can't get here. I say, how you mean he can't get here? You mean he can't get here by commercial flight? I gave authorization to bring him so that we wouldn't lose time. Bring him on a charter from Costa Rica. He who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing can't lead, you know. He who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing can't lead, you know. It's an important point I'm making here. And the wisdom shown that when they said to me, if you don't bring him, this thing is going to be delayed by so much time that you're going to lose money to mobilize them again to come back. And we made the arrangements for him to have his own vehicle, where he stayed in the room. He was subject to all the COVID restrictions. But we brought him here to do his technical work. So you see it there. I could tell you many stories about it because I was involved very much in this particular facility as I was in the facility at Arnesville. And I will be involved, God willing, and the people, in the building out of additional facilities at Arnesville, because we need to cover first of all, upgrade that place. Build it as a modern facility for netball and other indoor sports. In fact, we got a quotation. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Camilo. It's an $8 million quotation, the people who quoted for what we're supposed to do there. We have studied it carefully, and we are going to proceed. Now, I know that some persons, when last carnival, some people wanted to go there. And I said, no, they can't go there. And I know for the party people, I get some criticism. But if you have the job that I have, and you're afraid criticism, you can't do the job. And your back had to be broad. And I outline why. Because when you have, I love fete like everybody else. I'm a fete man. And don't think I might be old in my face, you know. The waist are right. The waist are right. The waist are right. We're laughing about. I could dance. Jesus loved to dance. The cobra could dance. You know, you want to make my brethren Sinclair get jealous of me today? No. We have already a few places where we are going to do lights, and Camilo outlined them. Of course, the lights were put in south of us because there's a power plant up there. And What I did as the chairman of the board of INLEC, at one meeting, I said we need to take a decision that wherever there's a INLEC power plant, that the sporting facilities in the area there must be lit by VINLEC. Well, they thought apparently the one in South Rivers was only the little hard court. But I was thinking about the playing field, which we were building out. So when the playing field was nearly finished, I called Tonley, Myers at VINLEC. I said, well, it's time now for us to put the lights up at the playing field in South Rivers. He said, what are you talking about? I said, the highest authority in this company, the annual general meeting, took a decision, go and look at the minutes. And when you look at them, call me back and what the minutes say. He called me back, he said, I know how the one slipped through. I said, well, those are the minutes of the highest decision-making body. You have to know how to lead, you know. And you have to know the broad thing, and you have to know the fine print. That's how that happened, you know. And right now, the National Lottery is rolling out a $7 million program in different places across St. Vincent and the Grenadines in sporting facilities. If you go all over St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you'll see some splendid facilities. Multi-million-dollar facility at Cumberland, at Hope. You know, the one at Hope, a man who was supposed to be a big man in the valley, he owned the land. And he said he ain't selling land. I said the people in South Leeward want a playing field. And he not selling land. He's government. We acquire the land and put his money in the treasury. And we build the playing field. There are some people who think they got more power than the people, you know. No, it don't happen so. And there are laws, and we act within the framework of the laws. Multi-million-dollar facilities in Park Hill, South Rivers. You see in Georgetown. You see Brighton. You see London in Sandy Bay. Well, Georgetown is Chile, the Chile one. And several others. All about. We fix up very well Richmond Hill playing field. And we are doing more and more. The amount of money invested in sports under the ULP governments is not matched by all the governments before, from colonial times right down put together. The amount of money we spend on sports. Right here, this place, we spend what, $189,000, Brother Randy? $189,000 to fix up this place. I'm giving you the backdrop. If I were talking about culture, I could have talked about that, but talking about sports this evening. And importantly, we have provided the sportsmen and sportswomen with a certain degree of respect, because we have a policy that once you're a sports person and you have the qualifications to go to university, you will be supported with a scholarship in the university. And that's what has happened. We also make the point, and I want the associations to hear me. I spoke to Sister Natasha about this more than one time, and she has submitted lists, and we have acted on lists. Everybody who is playing for any national team is either you must be at school, university, or you must be at work. And we have given a lot of courses and supported programs for education and training in specific sports. And that will continue once the ULP government is in office. The campaign ain't started yet, so I'm not talking campaign, I'm talking about facts as to what we have done and what we're going to do otherwise. In any case, there's a free market for everybody to parade their ideas, what they want, to get the people's attention. But this semi-professional sport called netball, following upon the one which we have in for football. By the way, there is no sport in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that can say that this government has not been very supportive of them. Every single one. Every single one. Now, and they can't say either that when we're sending people away to train, we discriminate between sports. While all I beg the coaches to do and the associations to do, when people get in scholarships to go to America, I want you to read the fine print. Because a number of coaches want to advise themselves on these scholarships. And they get the young people them in difficulties. Because very often, the scholarship is only very partial. Sometimes only for part of the tuition. And the coach may talk to the coach for the university or the college. But that's not the person who you need to talk to. You need to talk to the person in the administration and let them send you the information, what the coach may say. So a lot of times, students go and we have to pick up the slack. And I'm asking you when you're going away, everybody, all the young people, I want you to hear it. And your coach telling you something. I'm begging you, please. You and the coach come by me. I'll go by Randy and take the offer letter. Because we have a lot of experience in dealing with this matter. And I'm happy to say that a lot of these students have gone away, most of them, and made something of themselves. I remember there were 4 young men whom we sent to Kingsborough to do an associate degree. One of them came back the other day to look for me. He had a master's degree. He was working in a big company. So I asked him how the other 4 doing. He tells me that 3 of them doing very well. And the 4th one, there were some difficulties. I said, where is he now? I call Assistant Commissioner Buju to find out where he did, to tell him I want to see him. Because if he left the straight and narrow, I want him to come back. That is the extent of the interest that the man who talking to you here, that I take in young people and young people's business and for their development. And sport is one important area. Now, Camilo gave all the details correctly about this competition, but left out one piece of money. He spoke to you about the individuals who will get $200 a game. And because it's 8 games, they will get $1,600. But for the teams participating, each team will get $4,000 to participate. Every single one of the teams. So that the person who come in first, when they get $20,000 in prize money, they already would have get $4,000 up front for participating. So they walk away with $24,000. The one who comes second would walk away with $19,000. And the one who comes third would walk away with $14,000. And each of the players separately would get $1,600. They play 8 games. I think this is important. And in 1 month. Now, I have my favorite netball team. I'm going to tell you who. Because I don't want to get into quarrel today. But one thing I tell you, there's a woman on a team who I love very much. She named Skiddy Francis. She's an icon. Her Excellency, she's a sporting ambassador. When I saw Skiddy just now, I couldn't recognize. She had to call out. I said, "Hi, Skiddy." She's so slim. She looks so nice. I see she here, all nice up. She got on she special glasses. She's a poster child. Skiddy, I asked Natasha, I said, Skiddy must be in she 40s. She gave me a number, but I wouldn't call that number publicly because I can't believe the number is Skiddy. You must be the hottest netballer this side of the equator. I don't want the young girls, them younger than Skiddy, feel jealous. But you must admit, she hot like fire. Eh? Where she dey? She don't get under. No, I'm really happy to be here. They told me that I had to come and do the first pass. They sent, and if you watch me, I came from work, I took off my shoes and I got my sneaker. I take off my work pants and I put on my skinny jeans. You hear me? You see skinny jeans? You think it's Skiddy alone hat? You think it's Skiddy alone hat? The comrade hat too? So we're going to have some fun today. All right? God bless you. Let's have a wonderful competition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And if Skiddy is in her 40s, I don't feel too bad about myself. But that's another story. Is he gray hair or PM? Yeah, PM? And gray hair does make you look... Yeah. Right. At this point, we want to have the, symbolic handing over of the check from the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to the Netball Association. So we'll do that as we have that to be retrieved from the officials' room in the back there. And again, remember the game on for this evening is Mitres Netball Team versus the Exceed Sports Club. And of course, the netball action continues on Wednesday, the 17th, with 2 games, Tuesday the 23rd, another 2 games, Thursday the 25th, Saturday the 27th, Tuesday the 30th, and of course it goes on and on. So we have the Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, President of the Svg Netball Association, Ms. Natasha Batiste, Minister of Sport, Dr. Orlando Brewster, and of course, Minister of Finance, the Honorable Camilo Gonzalez. The symbolic handing over of the check for the inaugural 2025 Semi-Professional Netball League here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. Yes, every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. You know I love your voice.
All right, so thank you very much to the party there for the handing over. At this point, we'd like to invite the requisite persons to do the oaths. The player's oath followed by the official's oath. The player's oath will be delivered by Marianne Frederick, and the official's oath by Miss Thelma Foster. So, Marianne and Miss Foster, we invite you to the podium.
In the name of all players taking part in this inaugural Semi-Pro Netball League, I, Marianne Frederick, promise that we will compete with honor and respect in the true spirit of sportsmanship, abiding by the rules that govern the sports of netball.
Thank you very much, Marianne Frederick, coincidentally one of the co-captains of the 2025 OECS ECCB Vinci Joel's champion team. I will also call Miss Thelma Foster. Behind me where? Oh, there she is.
Good night. In the name of all officials officiating in this inaugural Semi-Pro Netball League, I, Thelma Foster, promise that we will honor and respect the sport and officiate according to the rules that govern the sport of netball. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Foster. And at this point now, we'd like to invite the Honorary Secretary, Ms. Carrie-Ann Small, to do the vote of thanks, which will, of course, be followed by the official declaration of the tournament, and then the first center pass by the PM, and then the game.
Good evening, everyone. I am honored to deliver the vote of thanks for today's event. First and foremost, I want to thank the Almighty God for his continued blessings that he has bestowed upon us. A heartfelt gratitude goes out to the organizers of this tournament, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Minister of Housing, Informal Human Settlement, Youth and Sports, Honorable Orlando Brewster, Minister of Finance, Honorable Camilo Gonzalez, and Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Ralph E. Gonzalez. Many thanks to all invited guests, players, management teams, and spectators. To our very own St. Vincent and the Grenadines Netball Association executive members, umpires, and technical officials, members of the media, and to all our listeners and viewers here and abroad, we say thank you. Thank you, everyone, for the continued support, for the love of netball, and I wish everyone a great evening ahead.
And at this point, We now invite the Minister of Sport, the Honorable Orlando Brewster, to do the official tournament declaration.
Thank you. It is my pleasure and privilege as a minister with the responsibility for sports here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to officially declare the 2025 inaugural semi-professional netball league open here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Thank you very much. So at this point, you heard the PM say that he went home after work and dressed for the occasion. So we'd like to invite the Honorable Prime Minister to do the official first pass of the inaugural semi-professional league here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Can we quickly have Mary and Frederick on the court, please, along with the Prime Minister? So the PM will take the first pass. Make the first pass. Yes, that's right. Catch him, catch him. Thank you very much, Prime Minister. So this officially brings us to the end of our opening ceremony and of course also signals the official start of the 2025 inaugural semi-professional netball league here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Next on the court will be the first game between the Exceed Sports Club and Mitres netball team. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
Love your bad, 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 love your bad. I go do anything for you cause I love your bad. Climb the highest mountain cause I love your bad. Give you all that I have cause I love your bad. I love your bad, I love your bad. Do anything for you cause I love your bad. Climb the highest mountain cause I love your bad. Give you all that I have cause I love your bad. I love your bad, I love
St. Vincent, I love you. That's all I can say.
That's the life, the life, the life, the life we live. The life, the life we live.
There's a protective shield above us. Yes, but lower, lower. Located in the stratosphere between 15 to 30 kilometers above the Earth is this protective shield known as the ozone layer. It protects us, and in return, we must protect it. Why? Because it shields us and the environment from the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. Without it, we'd be toast. Ozone molecules are in constant battle to keep us and the environment safe. With the proper guidance from the National Ozone Unit, you too can join the global effort to limit the battle faced by these ozone molecules. Want your days to get cooler? Consider alternative technologies which use natural refrigerants, have low or no global warming potential, and are energy efficient. Additionally, be sure to call a trained, certified technician who will ensure that good refrigeration practices are conducted during servicing. These includes 1. Checking for equipment leaks. 2. Recovering refrigerant using recovery cylinders as opposed to venting refrigerant gases into the atmosphere. And 3. Dispose of old refrigeration and air conditioning equipment in a safe, environmentally friendly manner. When in doubt, don't delay. The NOU is just one call away. The National Ozone Unit. Every action counts.
Good evening to all in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are at our first inaugural semi-pro netball tournament here at the Kingston Netball Center. So the game already started. It's like 5 or so minutes into the game already. So the score is 6-3 or 6-1 in favor of Mitres in the lead. So it's Mitres versus On Track Exceed. So center Mitres with the ball. Hell ball is called by umpire Foster on Mitres, so free throw into Exceed. Goal defense, fine, win defense. Win defense to a long pass into Frederick, and Frederick goes up and she scores. So the score move on to 6-2 in favor of Mitres. Exceed center pass. Center, fine, win defense. Win defense to win attack. Win attack, a long ball into goal shooter Frederick. Contact is called on goalkeeper for Mitres. So it's a penalty awarded for Frederick. Frederick wing the ball to win attack, and offside is called on the win defense for Mitres. So is goal attack with the ball, pass to win attack, and interception there by the win defense for Mitres, and it's out of court. Obstruction is called on the win defense for Mitres, and it's win attack, a long pass over to Frederick, but didn't get that one. And it's out of court, so it's free throw into Exceed. Goal shooter Frederick with the ball. Goal line throw-in. Frederick, a long pass to win attack. A lob pass into, was interception there by the goalkeeper, and it's out of court by the win defense for Exceed. So it's a throw-in for Mitres. Win defense Mitres mid-court area, a throw-in to center. Center into goal attack to goal shooter. Dishong goes up and she scores. The score move on to 8-2 or 7-2. I'm looking at the board, it's 7-2. So center Mitres, find goal attack, a long ball into win attack. Footwork is called on win attack for Mitres. Win defense for Exceed, find goal attack to goal defense. Goal defense, a long ball into goal shooter. Frederick goes up and she scored. The score move on to 3-7. Exceed center pass. Center. Find goal attack. Find win defense. Hell ball is called on the win defense for Exceed. So it was a free pass for Mitres. Goal defense, find goal attack. A bounce pass into Dishon, goal shooter, but it's out of court. Goalkeeper for Exceed, find goal defense. Back to goalkeeper back to goal defense. Goal defense, a long pass over to goal attack, but lost the ball. So Mitres with the ball, find center. A long pass into the goal shooter, Dishon. Goal shooter Dishon goes up and she scores. So 8-3 in favor of Mitres. Mitres center pass. Center, find win attack back to center. Center, long pass into the circle, and it's out of court, and is Exceed throwing. Goalkeeper find goal defense. Looked fine, and an interception there by Mitres center, and an overthrown there by the center for Mitres. Find goal attack for Exceed to goal shooter back to goal defense. Find win attack, a bounce pass to goal attack, and a lob pass into Frederick. Frederick goes up, and she scored. The score move on to 4-8. Mitres in lead. Mitres Exceed center pass. Center find win attack. Contact is called on the win defense for Mitres. A long pass into Frederick. And Frederick goes up and she scores. So 5-8 in favor of Mitres. Mitres center pass. Center. Find goal defense. To win attack. Win attack finds goal attack back to goal defense, a bounce pass to win attack, and footwork is called on the win attack for Mitres. So it's a free pass for exceed, goalkeeper, fine win defense, over to goal defense to win attack. Contact is called on the win defense of Miters, goal defense with the ball, pass to win attack a long pass in the circle for Frederick goes up and she scored. 8-6 in favor of Miters. Exceed center pass, center, fine goal defense to win attack, a long pass in, but obstruction is called on the win defense for Miters. So win attack, a long pass over to goal shooter goes up and she scored. The score now is 8-7 in favor of Miters. Miters center pass, fine win defense to back to center, a long pass to goal attack and the ball is out of court. Free throw into exceed, goal defense to goalkeeper. Goalkeeper finds win defense finds center to win attack, to goal attack to win goal defense. And an interception there by the center for Miters and it's out of court. Exceed center pass, exceed throw in center, a long pass into Frederick. Frederick intercepted there by the goal defense for Miters, but didn't hold on it. Frederick has the ball within, goes up and she misses. Goalkeeper with the ball finds win attack to win defense, a long pass over to goal attack and it's out of court. So it's exceed throwing on the sideline. Goalkeeper finds win defense to goal defense to win defense to center, a long pass over to Frederick out and contact is called on the goalkeeper, so penalty for Frederick. Frederick goes up and she misses and is out of rebound collected by the goal attack but was received by the goalkeeper for Miters. Fine win defense to win goal defense back to win defense, back to goal defense back to win defense to win attack and a lob pass into Dishon, goal shooter for Miters. Dishon goes up, she misses, and it's out of court. Free throw-in for Miters, goal attack with the pass, collected by the win attack. Contact is called on the goal defense for exceed. So it's a penalty in the circle. Dishon with the ball, she goes up and she scores. And that I think is the power play. So that will award them 2 shots in the power play. So exceed center pass, goal defense with the ball, find goal attack back to goal defense to center, a long pass into the circle, interception there by goal defense of Miters. Pompey with the ball, goal defense to center to win defense back to goal defense. And contact is called in the circle on the goal defense for exceed. So a penalty is awarded to goal shooter for Miters. She goes up and she misses. So exceed with the ball. A long pass into Frederick, a long pass to goal attack. Goes up Christopher and she scores. The score is 10-8 in favor of Miters. Miters center pass, center, find win attack to goal attack, over to center. Contact is called on center for exceed, so it's penalty pass for Miters. Find goal shooter, find goal attack, goal shooter, and there goes the whistle. That's the end of the first quarter. So is Miters in the lead of the first quarter, 10-8. And our umpire for today's game is Thelma Foster, and Michelle Sam. So we will be back here at the Kingston Netball Center on the second quarter. back at the Kingston Netball Center on the second quarter of the game, and the game now resumes. So it's might exceed with the pass, win attack, long pass into Frederick. Frederick goes up and contact is called on goal defense for Mitres, and Frederick scores. So the score move on to 10-9 in favor Mitres. Mitres center pass, goal attack with the ball, and it's out of court by the goal attack for Mitres. So it's throwing for Exceed, goal defense. Goal defense, fine win defense. Win defense, hell ball is called on the win defense for Exceed. So Dishon goes up, goal shooter, and she scores. Score move on to 11-9. Exceed center pass. Center. Find goal attack, and the whistle is blown for I guess it was breaking the line. So it's out of court. Frederick goes up, she misses, and it's out of court by Frederick. So a free throw for Mitres. Goalkeeper find win defense. Footwork is called on the win defense for Mitres. So free pass for Exceed. Win attack. Win attack, a long pass into Frederick. Frederick goes up and she scores. The score move on to 11-10 in favor of Exceed. In favor of Mitres. Mitres center pass. Center find goal attack to goal defense. Goal defense back to center. Center long pass into Dishon. Dishon with the pass. Contact is called on center Exceed. Contact is called on goalkeeper for Exceed. Dishon goes up and she scored. The score is 12-10 in favor of Mitres. Exceed center pass. Center. Find goal defense. Goal defense. Back to center. Center. A long pass over to Frederick. Frederick goes up and she scores. The score move on to 11-12. Mitres still up by 1. Mitres center pass. Center. Contact is called on win defense for Exceed. So win defense for Mitres with the pass. Find center. Center. And it's out of court. On goal defense for Exceed. So it's free throwing for Mitres, and I think it's incorrect throwing so the pass was lost by Mitres, and it's a turnover on Exceed. So it's a footwork call there on Mitres, and it's out of court. Shooter Dishon, and a long pass into Francis, which is a goal attack, and it's out of court. Goal defense, find goal attack. Goal defense, find goal defense. Sorry, goalkeeper find goal defense, and an overthrow there by the goal attack for Exceed, and win attack find goal attack. Goal attack find to goal shooter. Goal shooter Dishon goes up and she scores. So Exceed center pass. Center, find goal defense. Goal defense to goal attack. Goal attack back to goal defense. A long pass into Frederick, goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. Mitre center pass. Center. And breaking by the win defense for Exceed. And it's a contact is called on win defense. Win attack with the ball. Hell ball is called on the win attack for Mitres, so it's a free throw to Exceed. Win attack. A long pass into the circle. And out of court, so it's Mitres throwing. Find center. Center to goal defense. Goal defense to win attack. Win attack to goal attack. Goal attack to win defense. Win defense to center. Center to goal shooter, and contact is called on the goal defense for Exceed. So it's a penalty in the circle. So goal shooter Dishon goes up and she scores. Scores move on to 14-12 in favor of Mitres. Exceed center pass. Center finds win attack. Contact is called on the wing defense for Miters. Win attack with the ball. Over to goal attack. Goal attack. A long pass into the circle for Dishong. And contact is called on goal defense. Dishong. Frederick goes up and she scores. Score move on to 14-13. A tactical change is called for Miters. So the win attack for Miters is off. So we have a new win attack on. So win attack. A lob pass over to goal shooter Dishong. Dishong goes up and she scores. Score move on to 15-13. Exceed center pass. Center. Find goal defense. Goal defense, a long pass to Frederick. Frederick is out of the circle. Find center. Find win attack. A long pass over to Frederick. Contact is called on goal defense for Miters. Frederick goes up and she scores. Score move on to 15-14. Miters center pass. Center, find with goal defense. Goal defense to goal attack. Goal attack to win attack. Win attack to goal shooter. Goal shooter back to win attack. And goal shooter goes up Dishong and she scores. Score move on to 16-14. Exceed is trailing by 2. So Exceed center pass. Find goal defense. Goal defense. Frederick is out. Find goal shooter Frederick. Frederick to center. Center Stevenson. And obstruction is called on goal defense for Miters, which is Shania Pompey. And Christopher with the shot. She goes up and she scores. So Miters center pass. Center. And it's taken there by the goal defense. Goal defense, find goal attack. Goal attack. An interception there by goalkeeper, but could not have hold on to it. And Frederick with the ball, she goes up and she scores. Scores is level 16 apiece. Exceed center pass. Center, find goal attack. Goal attack to goal defense. Goal defense. Over to win attack. Win attack, a long pass in the circle. And interception there by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper out to win defense. Win defense, a long pass to goal attack. Goal attack to center. Center. A long pass to Dishong. Dishong goes up and she scores. Miters back in front, which is 17-16. Miters center pass. Find win attack. Win attack, a long pass to goal attack. Goal attack, a bounce pass into Dishong, but intercepted there by the goalkeeper. A long pass into shooter Dishong, but it's out of court. Win attack with the ball. Find center. Center back to win attack. Win attack to goal attack. Goal attack. And a lob pass over to goal attack, but intercepted there by goalkeeper. Exceed with the ball. Center. Find Frederick. Frederick back to center. Center to Christopher. Goal attack. Goal attack to Frederick. And Frederick's with the ball still. She goes up and she scores. 17 apiece. 17 all. A tactical change is called for Exceed, or the win defense for Exceed. So it's Exceed center pass. Center. Find win attack. Win attack. Find win defense. Win defense, a long pass into Frederick was taken there by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper finds center. Center with win defense. Win defense with goal defense. Goal defense with win attack. Bounce pass to goal shooter. And go. Obstruction is called on the goalkeeper for Exceed. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. Miters center pass. Center. Find goal defense. Goal defense to win defense. Win defense. Well, find goal. Win attack, a long pass into goal shooter. Taken there by the goalkeeper for Exceed. A long pass to goal attack. Goal attack, find goal shooter. Goal shooter finds center. Center, long pass into goal attack. Goal attack goes up. and she scores. The score 18 alls. Exceed center pass. Center. Find win defense. Win defense to goal attack. Goal attack back to win defense. Win defense to center. Center. Find goal defense to goal attack. And a long pass over to Frederick, and it's out of court. So Mitres throw in. So goalkeeper, a bounce pass to goal defense to center, finds goal attack to win defense to center to goal shooter, Dishong back to center to goal attack to goal shooter goes up and she scores. The score move on to 19-18 in favor of Mitres. Mitres center pass. Center, and it's not collected there by the goal attack, so Exceed with the ball, and it's out of court. A brilliant pass by Frederick, but Christopher could not have hold on to that pass, so Mitres with the ball. Center, find win defense to goal attack to goal shooter Dishong goes up and she misses. It's out of court. So goalkeeper Exceed. Contact is called on win attack. So goalkeeper find win defense to win attack to goal defense. Goal defense a long pass into Frederick, but it's out of court. So Mitres goalkeeper with the ball, finds win defense to goal attack to win defense to center to goal shooter to goal, back to center back to goal shooter goes up, and a pass over to win attack. Goal attack goes up with the ball, she misses, collected by the goal shooter goes up and she scores. Score move on to 20-18 in favor of Mitres. Exceed center pass. Center finds goal defense over to win defense to center. Center lob pass into the circle, collected by the goal shooter Frederick. Frederick goes up and scores. Mitres center pass. Center Mitres over to goal defense. Obstruction is called on the win attack for Exceed. Finds center Mitres. A long pass into goal shooter Dishong goes up and she scores. 21-19 in favor of Mitres. Exceed center pass. Center find goal attack. Finds goal defense. Back to center. A long pass over to Frederick, but it's out of court by the goalkeeper for Mitres. So is Exceed throwing. Frederick with the ball. Pass to center to goal attack. Goal attack goes up and she misses, collected by goal defense. Obstruction is called on goal shooter Frederick. So goal defense with the ball, finds center pass to win attack to goal attack to win defense to center to Dishong. Dishong goes pass back out, she goes up and she misses. Contact is called there on the center for Mitres. Exceed with the ball, goal defense. A long pass over to Frederick and it's out of court. So Mitres with the throw-in. Find goal defense to center to win defense find win attack. Contact is called on the win defense. And receive pass thrown to the goal shooter but could not have hold on to it. So it's Exceed with the ball. Center into Frederick. Contact is called on the goalkeeper for Mitres. So Frederick will take the penalty. Frederick goes up and she scores. The score move on to 21-20. Mitre center pass. Goal defense. And it's out of court by the goal defense for Exceed, so it's Mitres throw-in. And there goes the end of the second quarter. So Mitres 21, Exceed 20.
we love the cannabis.
St. Vincent, I love you. That's all I can say.
That's the life, the life, the life, the life we live. That is the life we live.
There's a protective shield above us. Yes, but lower, lower. Located in the stratosphere between 15 to 30 kilometers above the Earth is this protective shield known as the ozone layer. It protects us, and in return, we must protect it. Why? Because it shields us and the environment from the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. Without it, we'd be toast. Ozone molecules are in constant battle to keep us and the environment safe. With the proper guidance from the National Ozone Unit, you too can join the global effort to limit the battle faced by these ozone molecules. Want your days to get cooler? Consider alternative technologies which use natural refrigerants, have low or no global warming potential, and are energy efficient. Additionally, be sure to call a trained, certified technician who will ensure that good refrigeration practices are conducted during servicing. These includes 1. Checking for equipment leaks. 2. Recovering refrigerant using recovery cylinders as opposed to venting refrigerant gases into the atmosphere. And 3. Dispose of old refrigeration and air conditioning equipment in a safe, environmentally friendly manner. When in doubt, don't delay. The NOU is just one call away. The National Ozone Unit. Every action counts.
Okay, so we are back here at the Kingston Netball Center. So it's exceed center pass to goalie fence to goal attack finds win attack a long pass into a new shooter. A new shooter is brought in, so Frederick is off, so which is Frank. So Frank goes up and she scores. So it's Mitre center pass, find goal defense finds win attack to win defense finds center over to goal attack to goal shooter, and she lost that pass collected by the goalkeeper finds goal defense to win attack into Frank, goal shooter goes up and she scores. So Exceed move up to 22, Miters 21. Exceed center pass. Win attack with the ball. Find goal defense over to goal attack. Goal attack to goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. The score move on to 23-21 in favor of Exceed. Mitre center pass, center. And hell ball is called on the center Miters. A long pass into Frank. Didn't hold on to it, but this goalkeeper did not hold on to that pass, but Frank make use of that pass, so it's Exceed in move up to 24-21. Miters find win at goal attack to goal shooter. Goal shooter Dishon goes up. She misses, collected by the goalkeeper. An overthrow. And contact is called on the win defense for Miters. Exceed with the ball. A long pass over to goal shooter Frank. Obstruction is called on the goal defense. So Frank goes up and she misses. So it's out of court. Exceed throw-in. Goal attack. Look, fine goal. Win attack to goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. So Mitre center pass. Score 25-20. Mitre center pass. Center finds. And contact is called on the wing defense for Exceed. So goal defense with the ball, Miters. Find center. Center to goal attack. Goal attack to goal shooter, Dishong. Dishong. Back to a bounce pass to goal attack. Francis, she goes up and she scores. The score move on to 25-22. Exceed center pass. Goal defense with the ball. Finds win attack. Win attack into Frank. Contact is called on goalkeeper for Miters, so penalty for the goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. 26-22 in favor Exceed. Mitre center pass, a tactical change is called. So at center, we have a new center for Miters coming on, which is Jacinta Adams. So we have a Mitre center pass, center to goal defense to win attack to win defense. Off footwork is called on the win defense for Miters. Win attack with the ball, find center, contact is called on the goalkeeper. And it's a penalty awarded for the goal shooter for contact is called on the goal defense, so both defended player out of play. Goal attack goes up and she scores. Exceed center pass. Center finds goal attack and I don't know what that call was, but it's Exceed ball and throw to goal shooter. It's out of court. Miters with the ball. Goalkeeper over to and wow, collected by the goal attack for Exceed. And pass to goal shooter. Frank goes up and scores. The score move on to 27-22. Exceed center pass. Advantage is called there on the goal attack. Win attack. Footwork is called on the win attack for Miters. So goal defense find win attack. Win attack back to goal defense. Goal defense finds goal attack Miters. Miters find back to goal defense. Goal defense center to goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up and she misses. Collected by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper find goal defense. Goal defense to win attack. Win attack to goal shoot. Goal attack. Goal attack to center. Center to goal shooter. And Dishong, she goes up and she scores. 23-27 in favor Exceed. Exceed center pass. Center find goal defense. Goal defense to goal attack. Could not have hold on, but collected by the goal shooter. Goal shooter find the goal attack. Goal attack find to win attack. Win attack. And contact is called on the goal defense for Miters. The goal shooter. Goal attack goes up and she scores. 28-23 in favor Exceed. Mitre center pass. Center finds the goal attack. Goal attack back to center. Center, a long pass to win attack. Win attack, a long pass over to the goal attack, but it's out of court as Miters throwing. Center. And contact is called on the goalkeeper for Exceed. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. The score move on to 24-28. Tactical change is called on for Miters. So both the goal attack and the goal shooter switch. So the goal attack go on to play goal shooter and the goal shooter to goal attack. Exceed center pass. So Exceed center pass. Finds goal defense. Goal defense to goal win attack. Win attack to center. Center. A long pass over. Collected by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper to goal defense. Goal defense to win defense. Win defense to goal attack. And the overthrow there by the win defense. So it's Exceed with the ball. Find center. Center to goal defense. Goal defense. Back to center. Center. A bounce pass there for goal shooter. Collected by the goal shooter. Pass back over to go shoot to the center player. And contact is called on the wing defense for Mitres. So it's penalty. Center, long pass over to the goal shooter. And it's intercepted there by the goalkeeper for Mitres. So it's out of court. So it's thrown for Exceed, goal attack. A bounce pass to win attack. And out of court by the goal defense for Mitres. Win defense, throwing. A long pass over to center. Center with the ball. Find goal attack, goal attack. Find center, center to win attack. Into to goal shooter. Intercepted there by the goalkeeper, but goal shooter still has it. And good interception there by the goal defense. So find center, center to goal attack to center, center to win attack, a long pass into the goal attack. But it intercepted there by the goalkeeper for Exceed. Mitres goal attack goes up and she scores. So it's Mitres center pass, 25-29. Center, Adams finds win defense, find back to center, Adams. And contact is called on the center for Mitres. No, it's out of court, so throwing for Mitres. Fine. And a long pass by Dishong to goal shooter, and it's out of court. Exceed center pass. Goalkeeper, fine goal defense to win attack. Win attack to goal attack. Goal attack, a long pass over to goal shooter, collected there by the goalkeeper. Finds win defense to center. Win center finds goal attack to goal shooter. Back to win defense, center with the ball, finds win defense, win attack for Mitres, and contact is called there, and Dishong, goal attack with the ball, she goes up and she scores. So is Exceed center pass. The score now is 28-26 in favor Exceed. Center finds win defense find goal attack back to win defense find win attack, a bounce pass to center to goal defense to win defense to goal shooter who is out of the circle, goal shooter back to win attack to center reset back the game back to goal defense back to center to win attack. Obstruction is called on the win defense. So win attack with the ball. A drop pass there for the goal shooter. Frank goes up, she misses. Win defense with the ball. Goal defense with the ball, finds win defense. Win defense, a long pass to goal attack to center. Center to win defense back to center to Dishongs. Goal attack to win attack. And over to goal shooter. Francis goes up and she scores. That's Kamisha Francis and she scores. So Mitres 27, Exceed 28. Mitres center pass, finds win defense back to center back to win defense to center. And contact is called where we have possession. So the possession is Mitres center with the ball, finds goal shooter, bounce pass to goal attack, Dishong goes up and she scores. The score now is 28 each, Mitres 28, Exceeds 28. Exceed center pass, center to win attack to goal attack, back to center, goal attack with the ball, she goes up and she scores. The score move on to 29-28, Mitres center pass. And obstruction is called on the win defense for Exceed. So center, a jump pass there for the goal attack, Mitres. Dishong goes up and she scores. So 29-29. Exceed center pass. So that whistle goes, that is the power play. So win attack, obstructed there by the win defense, obstructed by the goal attack for Mitres. Win attack with the ball, a long pass over and it's out of court. Mitres center part. Mitres throwing. Find goal defense to win defense. Back to goal defense. Goal defense along pass to Dishon, and it's out of court. XC center pass. And XC throwing, sorry. Shooter. Frank goes up and she scores. So that scores is a 2-pointer. So Exceed now is up by 2, 31-29. Mitres. Fine goal at center. Back to win defense to goal attack. Goal attack into goal shooter. Goal shooter over to goal attack. Goal attack goes up and she scores. That point only carry 1, so 31-30 is the score. XC center pass. Win attack with it. Finds goal attack to goal defense to center. Contact is called on the center for Exceed, making contact with the ball. So it's Mitres win defense. Find center with win defense to goal attack. Jump pass there for goal shoot, goal attack. A bounce pass to Dishon with it in a 2-pointer range. And she goes up and she misses. Dishon again with the ball. She goes up and she misses. So Exceed with the ball. Goal attack. Find center to goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up. She misses. Goalkeeper with the ball. Find center to win defense. Center back to win defense back to center. Goal attack into goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. That's a 2-pointer. So that's move on to 31. The score supposed, yes, 31-31. Goal shooter goes up and she misses. A long ball and it's out of court. Exceed throwing. Fine goal defense. And there goes the end of the third quarter. The scores, Mitres 31, Exceed 31. We will be back here for the fourth and final quarter in this game. The first semi-pro game for 2025.
St. Vincent, I love you. That's all I can say.
That's the life, the life, the life, the life we live. The life, the life we live.
protective shield above us. Yes, but lower, lower. Located in the stratosphere between 15 to 30 kilometers above the Earth is this protective shield known as the ozone layer. It protects us, and in return, we must protect it. Why? Because it shields us and the environment from the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. Without it, we'd be toast. Ozone molecules are in constant battle to keep us and the environment safe. With the proper guidance from the National Ozone Unit, you too can join the global effort to limit the battle faced by these ozone molecules. Want your days to get cooler? Consider alternative technologies which use natural refrigerants, have low or no global warming potential, and are energy efficient. Additionally, be sure to call a trained, certified technician who will ensure that good refrigeration practices are conducted during servicing. These includes 1. Checking for equipment leaks. 2. Recovering refrigerant using recovery cylinders as opposed to venting refrigerant gases into the atmosphere. And 3. Dispose of old refrigeration and air conditioning equipment in a safe, environmentally friendly manner. When in doubt, don't delay. The NOU is just one call away. The National Ozone Unit. Every action counts.
Okay, we are back here at the Kingston Netball Center for the fourth and final quarter. And it's Exceed center pass, but there's an overthrow there for Mitres, for Exceed. So Mitres with the ball into goal shooter, Francis. And she tried to do a drop pass, but the ball landed in the goalkeeper hand. So Exceed with the ball. Frederick is back on, the goal shooter. And offside is called on the goal defense for Exceed. So goal defense, Mitres with the ball, finds win defense find goal attack into, win attack into goal attack, and goal attack goes up and scores. So the score move on to 33-32 is the score. Mitres center pass, finds goal attack to goal shooter finds center, a bounce pass there to goal attack, Dishon goes up and she misses, collected by the goal defense. Cow, which is goes the goal defense, find Daniel into Stevenson. Obstruction there is called on the goal defense, Pompey, and shooter Frederick goes up and she scores. The center pass is Exceed. The score move on to 33 alls. Exceed center pass. Fine Cow, goal defense to win attack. Daniel, who is Shanice Daniel, into Frederick. She tried, I think, to bounce the ball on the pole, but it bounced out of court, so Mitres throw in. Fine Pompey finds win defense to goal attack into goal shooter back to win defense to goal shooter lob pass there into the shot, goal attack goes up and she scores. The score move on to 34-33. Mitres center pass. And a tactical change is called there for Mitres between goal attack, Francis, and goal shooter, Dishon. So Dishon back in as the goal shooter, Francis as the goal attack. A bounce pass there to goal shooter Dishon, and a lob pass over to Francis. Francis goes up and she scores. The score move on to 35-33. Exceed center pass. Stephen finds the win defense. Back to center Stephen. A long pass into Frederick. Frederick goes up and she scores. Mitres center pass. Who is Adams? Intercepted there by goal defense Cow, and it's out of court. Mitres throwing. Goal defense. Pompey finds win defense. A bounce pass. Contact is called on the win defense for Exceed. So the penalty to Peters, Giselle Peters. A lob ball there to Francis, who winged it over to Adams. Adams find Dishong. Dishong, she goes up and misses. Collect there by the goal attack. Goal attack goes up and she misses. Exceed with the ball. Goal defense. Goal defense finds center. Center. Find goal attack. Goal attack. Over to center. Center. A long ball over to Pompey and collected there by Frederick. Goes up and she scores. 35-35. XC center pass. Christopher find Carl. Carl finds Stephen. Contact is called on Adams, which is Mitre center, just into Adams. So Rosanna Stephen. And contact is called on the wing defense for Miters. A long pass into Frederick. Frederick goes up and she scores. Mitre center pass. The score 35-36. Find goal attack. Goal attack to win defense, to goal defense. Goal defense back to center. Center. And it's out of court by Cole, who is playing goal defense. So Peters with the ball, a lob pass and collected there by the goalkeeper for Exceed. Daniel find Christopher. Christopher goes up. And a long pass into Frederick. Frederick goes up and she scores. The score move on to 35-37 in favor Exceed. Exceed center pass. Christopher to Daniel. A long pass over to Frederick. Frederick goes up and she scores. The score move on to 35-38. Mitre center pass. Adams finds Francis. Contact is called on Herbert, I think, is for Miters. So Peters with the penalty. Find Francis. Francis find Adams and intercepted there by the center. So Exceed with the ball. Find win defense. Win defense to center. Center. Find Christopher, who is playing goal attack. And collected there by the goal shooter for Exceed, Frederick, and she goes up and scores. The score move on to 35-39. Exceed center pass, find Cow. A long pass over, collected there by the shooter for Miters, back to Stephen. A long pass over, and it's out of court. So Miters throwing. So goalkeeper finds goal defense. Goal defense finds center. Center could not have, goal attack could not have hold on to that and Exceed with the pass. Find center. And contact is called on the goalkeeper for Miters. The goal shooter goes up and she scores. Mitre center pass. 40-35 the score. Goal attack. Find goal shooter. Contact is called on the win defense for Miters. For Exceed. Contact is called on the goalkeeper for Miters. For Exceed. Miters with the ball. And obstruction is called on the goal defense for Miters. For Exceed. Goal shooter. Dishon goes up and she scores. The score move on to 36-40. Exceed center pass. Center finds Christopher. Christopher to Herbert. Herbert back to Christopher. Christopher finds Stephen. Stephen a long pass over to Frederick, but it's out of court. Goalkeeper. And it's taken there by the goal attack for Exceed. And a long pass is over to Frederick. Frederick goes up and she scores. 36-41. And we have in a tactical change there for Mitres. We have a new center player coming on, and the center now moved to win attack, which is Charlene Wiley. So we have Mitre center pass. Contact is called on Hubbard for exceed. Win attack Adams with the ball. Find goal attack over to center. And it's taken there by the win defense. And it's overthrown there by exceed and an out of court by Cow. And so it's a throw-in for Mitres. Win attack with the ball. Finds goal attack. Goal attack, a long pass over to center. And taken there by the goalkeeper for exceed. Hollycott. And exceed with the ball. Win attack. And a long pass over to goal shooter Frederick. Frederick goes up and she scores. We lost connection there with the scoreboard, so I guess the score now is 42. So exceed. Footwork is called on the center. Contact there is called now on the goal defense for exceed, which is Cow. So is penalty for Mitres. Goal defense with the ball over to center. And it's taken there by Christopher. Christopher finds Frederick. Frederick back to find center. Christopher goes up. Obstruction is called on goal defense. Christopher with the ball. She goes up and she scores. The score move on to 43-36. Mitre center pass. Goal attack. Back to center. Center to goal shooter. And obstruction is called on goalkeeper. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. The score move on to 37-43. Exceed center pass. Goal defense finds center, find goal defense. Goal defense to win attack. Win attack to goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. Mitre center pass. 37-44. Wiley. And hell ball is called. So it's free pass, therefore exceed. Center, a long pass over to goal shooter, but collected there by the goalkeeper. Center with the ball, finds win defense. Win defense back to center. Center to goal attack. Goal attack to center. Center, a drop pass there for shooter. Contact is called on the goalkeeper for exceed. Goal shooter goes up, she misses, collect there by the goalkeeper. A long pass in the mid-court area for goal attack. Goal attack finds goal shooter. Goal shooter finds center, center back to goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. 37-46. And we have in a tactical change for exceed. So 45-37. So we have Low coming there and a jump shot there for Frederick and she converts, so the score move on to 46-37. Mitres, win attack with the ball, long pass to goal attack into goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. 38-46. Exceed center pass. Center low, find win attack to center. Center into goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. 47-38. Mitre center pass. Center find goal defense. Goal defense to win defense. Win defense to goal attack. Goal attack finds goal shooter. Goal shooter could not have hold on, but is collected there by the goal attack, and contact there is called on the win defense for exceed. So it's a penalty. And contact And we having a warning there from umpire Sam to the win defense for Exceed. So it's out of court. So Mitres with the ball. And it's out of court again. So it's Mitres throwing. So goal shooter. Dishon goes up and she scores. So Exceed center pass. So that is our power play for Exceed. So center, find goal attack into goal shooter. Goal shooter, back to goal attack, taken there, and contact is called on the goal attack, goal defense for Exceed. Goal shooter goes up, she misses. And out of court is called on goal shooter. So it's out of court, a free throw for throwing for Mitres. Win defense with the ball, a long pass over to goal defense to center. Center finds goal attack, back to win defense to center, into goal shooter. Goal shooter goes up and she scores. 40-47 is the score. Mitre center pass. Center, Wiley finds goal attack. Francis to Adams to Wiley, and it's out of court there by Lowe, who is Exceed center, so he's throwing there for Mitres. And obstruction is called on center for Exceed, and a long pass over collected there by goalkeeper. Find goal shooter who is out of circle, find goal attack. Goal attack goes up and she scores. Exceed center pass, 48-40. Exceed to Frederick, who is out of the circle, find win attack. Win attack, a bounce pass to center. Center to goal attack. Contact is called on the win defense, and it's out of court. Out of court, so it's Exceed throwing. Contact is called on goal defense. And Frederick with the ball, she goes up and she scores. The score moves on to 49-40. And we have in the counting down of the time, Exceed. Mitres. Goal attack with the ball over into goal shooter. Into the circle, goal shooter goes up, she misses. Collected there by the goalkeeper for Exceed. Goal attack, find win attack to center. A long pass over to Frederick. Frederick goes up and she scores. 50-40, 10 goals lead. Exceed center pass. Center find goal defense back to center. Center into, collected there by the goalkeeper for Mitres. Mitres are overthrown there and it's out of court. So Exceed throwing. Goalkeeper with the ball. Finds goal defense to center. Center to win defense to win attack. Obstruction on win defense Mitres. Win defense Exceed with the ball. Finds win attack to Frederick. Frederick goes up and she scores. 51-40. 11-point game. Exceed Mitre center pass. Goal attack with it. Finds win attack to goal attack to center, and it ball out of court. Exceed throwing, and there goes the end of the final whistle in the 2025 semi-pro tournament. Mitres 40, Exceed 51.
Nah,